this video, we will present the characteristics of the logo from Siemens, a versatile and low-cost device within the subject automation of agricultural and food processes. In other videos of the subject, we already saw that 4 levels of technologies can be used in the design of automation. Automation by schedule, thermostats and similar equipment, PLCs or specific controllers, or distributed control. The logo can be considered the lowest PLC and also the most economical of Siemens PLCs. It can be used alone for the automation of a facility, as we will see in some examples, or integrated into a more complex design of distributed control. The PLCs and also the specific controllers have certain numbers of inputs and outputs, which can be digital or analog. In certain PLCs, usually called modular PLCs, this number can be extended with additional modules. The logo of Siemens in its basic configurations has 6 digital inputs and 4 digital outputs. The basic criterion for choosing a PLC or a controller is its number and type of inputs and outputs, although other factors can influence, such as the logical functions that the PLC can incorporate or the storage capacity of information. When designing the automation system, it is necessary to define how many inputs and outputs are necessary in the facility and whether they are analog or digital. For example, if a system needs analog outputs, we could not use the logo since it does not have this type of outputs. We should use a more expensive PLC with the necessary outputs. We are going to present an example of automation of water pumping from a well to a tank. In the example, pumping is done by a 3-phase electric motor pump. Its start depends on 2 water level sensors, for example, float switches. One sensor placed in the well below the water suction level of the pump, and the other at the level of the tank in which the water overflows. Pumping can start when there is water in the well sensor and stops when there is water in the tank overflow level. The process is usually done at night, in which electricity is cheaper. The process requires 2 digital inputs for the 2 water level sensors and 1 digital output for the electrical motor of the pump. With this parameter, it can be automated with the logo of Siemens, which, correctly programmed, will start and stop pumping without the need of the presence of any human operator. As a student of the subject, you will have documentation showing in detail how to program the logo, a link to download the software, and several examples of automation with permanent support from the subject's teaching staff. All the block of practices of this subject will be done with the logo automatism. This training block will allow you to know how PLCs are programmed and work. PLCs that are very common in automation designs. The block can be made in the traditional classroom format, or also online at the most convenient time for your interests.